everybody, and welcome back to some more FTB Skies 2. Today, we are finally going to be getting some auto-crafting and some automation already and ready to go, because I want to actually automate some of the, where was it? Over here. I wanted to automate some of the infusion things from the metallurgic infuser and all the stuff that I can get from it for something that's going to be coming very soon. And for that, I need to automate these guys. For that, I'm going to be utilizing our refined storage auto-crafting. So, for us to get refined storage auto-crafting, we're going to need, incidentally, these auto-crafters. Seems pretty simple, doesn't it? So we can just go ahead and grab ourselves some machine casings in order for us to make that. And then I actually already had that. How much glowstone am I gonna have? Because I'm probably gonna need, okay, yeah, no, I'm good on that. I was a bit worried because I didn't know how much I was gonna end up having or needing, but there we go. Wasn't that supposed to be a quest in the refined storage line? Oh, we need the pattern grid still. Okay, so yeah, there is also a specific grid that we're going to need. Did you just... He pushed me out of the way just so he could die! Wait, what is this? The last time I touched refined storage, a villager ruined everything to go into here to die. This thing has just been a death trap, man. But yeah, we just need to go ahead and make ourselves a regular old grid, so that way we can then go ahead and make ourselves our pattern grid. So now we can go ahead and put that there, which here will allow us to... Oh. We've added some new things, but this will allow us to start our auto-crafting. There's also two other monitors I could get, one being the auto-crafting monitor and the auto-crafter manager, which both of which would be fairly useful in their own rights. I don't think I actually even want the auto-crafting monitor right now, though. Actually, I think I can go without it. I wasn't certain if I wanted to use it or not, but that's fine. So, now that we have that, though, we can now start to make ourselves our patterns. That's gonna be fun. So we are going to need to make ourselves our mechanism stuff then. But since I want to still have all the mechanism stuff over here, we are gonna need a way to connect our refined... Really? Again? Again? Are you serious? Anyways, though, for us to be able to transfer this stuff over to there without any issues is going to be with this stuff right here, the network transmitter and the network receiver. I just hope I have, okay, I should have everything I need for those. It's literally just the same recipe, just reversed for one or the other. So there we go. Now we got the transmitter and the receiver. Now here's the fun part. After that, we need to get ourselves a network card. That's good. And the way this works is, when I have one of these connected to the network, I would then click on it with the card, take the other one over somewhere else, and then I could click on that with the card, and then those two would be connected, and it works cross dimensions. The problem is, I genuinely don't remember which one's which. I'm thinking it's going to be the transmitter that I need for this, and then I can go ahead and missing network card. So once I put this thing in, it should say, yeah, 53 blocks. So that's a fairly decent size away. How are we doing on power? Is it, okay, it's not going down at all. And yes, it is activated. So now what's gonna happen in terms of that is I'm gonna need to get some cables to then connect the auto crafter to a thing that we're gonna need. But before we can do that, we still need to get the rest of our automation taken care of. And I'm also going to need to grab myself a wrench for reasons that I will explain later. But right now, though, I've done Mekanism already before, so I'm going to go ahead and get these machines, and I'm going to grab the recipes for the Mekanism line of stuff, just so that way I can have this all pre-planned out, because I'm not exactly going into this with a full idea as to how I'm doing this.
5 minutes later.
Alrighty, I should have all three machines that I should need for this. Now, normally I like to make more of these metallurgic infusers, and I totally could, but I kind of wanted to see how far I could get with just these three, since I do have a bit of a better idea for what I'm going to do than I do normally when I do this. Because now, I've got a better plan. So, what we have here is we have our cables all stretched out above these guys right here. Then what we do is we put our auto crafter here and then a chest right here. But, oh no, the auto crafter isn't actually connected. We fix this by turning this. because it can't connect from this side, as this is the side that outputs the items. And you can tell easily where it's gonna go by this little arrow kind of thing that we have here. We need this to be facing down, and there we go. Now it is facing the chest, which we can no longer open. Should have used a barrel. Well, we'll solve that at a later time. Now we just need to give this thing recipes that we are going to need for this. And this is going to be a bit of a big thing, because the recipes are going to encompass a whole line of things. Now, a quick address once we get to it before I get there. These circuits. They've actually added a mechanism, or not a mechanism, a metallurgic infuser recipe for these. So now I actually don't have to separate them into another crafting. However, after kind of calculating it, I've determined that the amount of stuff over in the side that I would need is actually a lot more than if I were to just craft it utilizing the alloys. So we won't be adding that to the recipe total. So that will at least cut us down on those things a bit, especially since we're only going to have a limited number of recipes to work with. So it's finally time to assemble some patterns. This is going to be the easiest part. As for this, we're just going to need to go into here, go to the required recipe that we want, and just click move items. So now this will know to use 1 obsidian to get 4 obsidian dust. And that is 1 pattern that we have ready for this. So now we put this inside of our crafter. Now, once I were to set that, it would then send those out into this chest. In fact, it might actually show it in JEI if I do it. So where is the obsidian? I believe it'll be, yeah, right here. You just need to click it. Now we just need to go ahead and start it. And if we head on over to here, we might see, yep, there is an obsidian waiting in the JEI. This needs to go over to the crusher. So we're gonna go ahead and have that go over there, and we're gonna have each one of these kind of separated for their various purposes. Since this one is just gonna be on its own for right now, we can go ahead and click that, and that is then gonna get filtered to go over to here. I don't have a power on it right now, though. I kind of forgot to set power to these guys. Now, I'm gonna need to put exporters on the fronts of all of these to kind of get those then to go back up there, because once it's touched with the exporters, it doesn't matter what block of refined storage it's on, it'll just go back into here, and we'll have our recipe completed. It's basically just gonna be that same thing, but with me setting up a buttload of different recipes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the recipes set up, and make any minor changes that I may need to make along the way.
20 minutes later.
Alrighty, it's all tested and ready. Everything is in place. So you might see up here, I have another autocrafter. This one's actually an iron autocrafter, because, no. Are you serious? Again? How? What? I swear I'm not planning this. I swear I am not planning this. It was a one-off thing that happened the first time I touched this again. And now it's happened 3 times in one video. Anyways, the autocrafters have upgrades thanks to a sort of refined storage co-mod called extra storage. And this one gives me more room for more patterns in one. And since this one's for crafting patterns, since it doesn't have an output thing, this one I just decided to make an iron one and just stick it over here. And since this one did use up all of the ones from previous things, I'm pretty sure I'm spelling circuit wrong. I did make one off screen just to test if it would all work. And sure enough, it has. But I did make a few changes to this thing that I do need to address, because otherwise, if anyone is trying to use this for assistance, you might get a bit confused on things. First and foremost, I misspoke earlier. I said exporters. I mean importers. These things need to be importers because importers take things into the stuff. Exporters export things into these things out here. So I also needed to add filters to each of these pipes. That's why I had these separated. I kind of forgot to include that crucial information. I have these set to allow only the things that go into these specific spots. And for the metallurgic infuser, I also need another one on the back because these things also have configurable things, which is another thing. If it's not exporting or importing or something, it's probably something wrong with the config side. And I need the back thing to be able to set up a lot of the other kind of fuels and stuff that go into the metallurgic infuser. So there we go, though. we have now gotten ourselves all of our automations ready. But you might still be wondering, why exactly do I need these circuits and stuff in the first place, and all of these alloys? What is the real purpose of me having these automated? I've also noticed I haven't collected a single one of these for the quest line, so let me go ahead and do that real quick. There we go. We got all those quests done at once. So now from here on, we could actually, thanks to this, go off into starting A, tier 4 ore processing, and B, getting our teleportation stuff all ready and raring. That way we could start doing more wireless transmissions of multiple things. But that is not actually why I wanted these things. Oh, no. If I'm gonna go ahead and grab my circuits again, let's go ahead and grab the Elite and the Ultimate. Those are the two ones of importance here. The reason why we wanted these guys is very simple. With these, it makes it easier to get these guys, as that is now another process that we would have. As for these guys, normally the process to getting them is somewhat all over the place. Might be wondering though, what exactly are those and why do we need them? Well, those are a part of the next quest line that I want to get into very, very soon. If I can find it. Ah, here it is. Modern industrialization. Look all the way down here. This is the start. This is the first of these circuits. That is a bit of a pain, but thanks to our automation, we already got that. Then we need to do all of this to then get up to this one. But thanks to our automation, we've already got it. Now, all that is left after that would be to sort of solve every other thing that involves with the other stuff, which would be to get through the rest of this quest line, which will be its own video, but you might also be wondering, why am I doing modern industrialization at all? What does this help me with? There is something very interesting with this mod called the replicator. What the replicator does is it's gonna take this stuff called the UU matter, which we'll be able to make. Oh, and this one actually tells you it's not consumed this time. That's fun. But it'll make this stuff, which I can then put into this replicator to duplicate items. What? And that is going to be very, very useful for the coming days. And since it's clearly not on the quest line, we don't have to worry about a lot of the other stuff that will come with this that are not necessary. Now, technically speaking, me doing a lot of these quest lines aren't necessary, but I like quest rewards, and it helps make things easier and helps to actually get me to do more things. And it also helps me to avoid certain wrenches that would be thrown into my plans. Now that we've gotten all of this magical stuff done, the only thing left for me to do now is open up today's chance cube. Yes, it is the part of the show where I risk my entire series and all my gems for all your entertainment. I've actually lost most of my gems, so we only have 3 left. Let's see if we can kill the rest of them. Okay. Is my server lagging? Nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Why am I more scared that nothing happened? Did you like this video? Good. Then be sure to check out our last FTB Skies 2 video where we went through Ori Tech. Bye-bye!